Hello and welcome to the MH&G podcast. As usual, life can be a little bit miserable, life can be a little bit dark, but we're here to bring you as much light and as much positive joy as we can. As usual, I'm Bradley and I'm joined by the stayed out of jail, Stu. How you doing, Stu?
Yeah, still haven't got me yet. No.
No.
I've been too... Well, the thing is, they should have got me by now, really, because I'm left-wing enough for that. And they're trying to pin it on a left-winger. So, you'd think I'd be in the frame.
I know. Oh, by the way, do you know that projector I lent you? How was it? Did it work for your intended purpose?
Yeah. I mean, it's impounded now, You won't see it for a while because the police got hold of it, but it did the job.
What for? Why did you use it, Stu? I thought you said you was down at Windsor for something. I don't know.
I was just I was bored when I was staying in a hotel and decided to project a few things, It's what you do, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds fair enough. I don't know why the CIA were asking.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah. Well, never mind. I'm still not in prison. That's the main thing.
Yeah. You probably upset Bond.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Jenny Bond,
Jenny Bond.
Not James Bond, Jenny Bond, yeah, of course.
Obviously.
We're going to go straight into it this week because we need a palate cleanser. So, do you know what else could be projected on the side of castles?
What's that?
Video games.
Yeah, video games.
Now, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I really want to do that now. I just want to play a game on that big a projector.
Play I don't know, Return to Castle Wolfenstein on the side of Windsor Castle or something like that.
Yeah. Are there any really anti-monarchist games that we could play? That would be ideal.
Probably that old spitting image game from the 80s.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah, do that.
That wasn't very good either. No, unfortunately.
Bummer.
It was very bad. Anti-monarchy games. I don't know.
Surely the French must have done some of them. Surely.
Yeah. But then it's Ubisoft, probably. I don't know.
Anyway, video games.
No idea. Yeah, ask the question, Stu, because I've been a busy bunny.
You've been a busy bunny indeed, haven't you? With big rabbit ears.
What are you playing?
Well, listen. Right, because I've had my eyesight problems, I've had a bit of a backlog of games that we need to cover. So I'm going to do a bit of a blast. Okay, a little bit of a blast of these games. And when you've got so many, it can be a big problem. So I'm going to start off with a game called Little Problems, a cosy detective game.
Oh, nice.
Now, I love this. I'm just going to go into this. It's just a cool little detective game. And it is literally what it says on the tin. It's a cozy detective game about little problems you need to solve. And I like the concept of this because a lot of detective-based games are based around dark mysteries, whether it be crime, like certain basic crimes or stuff like that, or whether it goes full on murder or supernatural or something like that. All detective games seem to be around something that's quite dark, or you've got to save the world, just something like that. And it can get, I don't want to say tiresome, because I do like a detective game. I think they really do get the old grey matter going. But you need to be in the right frame of mind for them, because they do try and go places and try and mess with you a bit. So what Little Problems does, it is a detective game. It kind of uses all the detective mechanics from these same sort of games. But you're basically just solving little problems for people, trying to enrich their world. There's no murder involved. There's no deep-seated conspiracies. It's just you meet people and they're like, oh, I've got this, and you go, oh, what can I do to deal with that? And you might have to go and do a little bit of investigating and stuff. And then it's kind of got that same similar mechanic that you get in the Rise of the thingy. What's it? Rise of the Golden Statue or whatever it's called. My mind's gone blank. So it's kind of got that mechanic where you get these issues. You feel in oh, this is the person and this is their problem. But it's just cozy. It's lovely to play, and I just came out of it after playing it for about maybe I want to say 3-4 hours. Nothing major. I just feeling really, really nice. just really, really nice. And sometimes I think it's good to have a game that does that.
Yeah, and I think, titling it with, a subtitle of a cozy detective game, they've pinned their colours to the mast there and gone, look, you're going to be safe playing this, you're going to be having fun, it's going to be cool, it's going to be calm, it's going to be fresh and fun. And like you say, we really need that, don't we?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like the people you meet in there, like their worlds could be falling apart because, like, when I say their world, like when you're having a bad day, like personally having a bad day, and then you drop your cereal box or something, and it's just like, let's just compare. It's the worst thing to happen, but in like the overall scheme of things, for everyone else, it's like just clear it up. It's like everyone's having their own like, oh my god moments, and you're there to deal with it and sort of like almost show them like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Look, this is what we're going to do to deal with it. And I love it. It does a really good thing to show how sort of like literally little problems to some people could be the major thing. But it's really, really not. And I think it's got a great concept, great idea. And I'd love to see like more of this come through. The same as like Duck Detective, which was a noir detective game based around someone stealing someone's salami out of the fridge at work. And I love these ideas where they take these known concepts and just do new things with them. So yeah, I highly recommend you to pick it up.
Lovely. Oh yeah, sounds very charming.
So because you've only got the one this week, I'm saying you have only got the one this week, haven't you?
I've only got the one this week.
Good. Right. So I've just got you've got one. Oh, okay. Right.
Bullying me again, Mum.
So moving on to another one that really took me by surprise, and I'm glad I got to play this one. It's the complete opposite of Little Problems because it's called Hell Is Us, which is a Dark Souls inspired adventure game. Look, I've played this one now for about 3-4 hours in, so I've not gone that far into it, but it's going to take me a while to get through this one because when you get told about games, I've got no hand holding, but you go in and it's kind of still pointing you in the right direction a bit, and it's little bits there. Or it's got at least, you can press this and you get, this will tell you what you've got to do. This just doesn't. Hell Is Us literally goes, bit of backstory. Okay, cool. And now you're in this dark, dank world. Okay, what do I do? And the game's like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. You tell me, you're the game. And the game's going, nah, I'm just going to sit back for a bit. Off you go. You're like, but it's dark. I can't see anything. I mean, like, I think a swamp or woods. I don't know. The guy's going to work it out. So you start wandering about. And you just like, I spent probably about half an hour just wandering lost in the woods until I came across this like cabin. And then it doesn't go, oh, you got to go into this cabin. Because you can't get into the cabin. It's like, oh, no, it's not even going, maybe go this way. You've got to kind of bungle your way around, looking or working things out for yourself. And then eventually you meet a character, and the character will go, oh, yeah, stuff. So you goes, right, you need to set off out of this cabin and basically head to the north. This is where I've heard things, so head to the north. So you've got to work out, right, where's north. You do have a compass, but you have to bring it up. So there's no UI on the screen unless you press buttons to bring up a temporary UI. You can't even have a permanent UI. It's like you press it and the UI is there for seconds. You're like, okay, so you look for north and you start heading north, and branching paths and darkness, and you get lost. And you're like, well, I just know I've got to head north. And it does that feeling really, really well. So do you know how in the original Blair Witch Project that the characters in there, that they sort of know where they're going, but they just get lost and get confused really easily about where they are?
Yeah.
So this nails that this does Blair Witch. It's not a Blair Witch game, but this does Blair Witch better than Bloober Team did Blair Witch. And I mean, that's not a high bar, but it does it really well. And I'm in there, and I'm not scared because, again, I know it's a video game. I don't get scared. But I was tense for the character. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, and I feel lost. And I know I've got to head north, and then you hear something, you see something, you're like, do I go there? Do I want to go there? It feels like it's setting me up. Then you go there, you meet another. And then gradually, the more you go, you piece it together, and then you unlock. It goes to a more traditional Souls-like in there, where something happens. Like you're there, you're like, what's just happened? And you also you're decked out with weapons and stuff, and you're like, okay. And then you fight it, but it doesn't go, oh, this is how you fight, or right, this is what you've got to do. You kind of got to work it out yourself, and you go and you're fighting, and it's got a character there that looks like the Spot from Into the Spider-Verse, but more menacing. And then you're in this like underground crypt thing, and that's confusing and disorientating as to where you're meant to go and what. You're there to find a key to help someone get into like an APC armoured vehicle. And it's just like, my head hurts. And I'm like 4 hours in, and this game is just continually going, I don't know, you just play. It's dark, it's dank, it's atmospheric, it's interesting, and yeah, this is the definition of we are not going to hold your hand, you work it out, and they've nailed it. They've absolutely nailed this sense of almost trying to figure out your way through life without any kind of input or instruction. And it's really well done. And it runs okay on the Steam Deck despite being unsupported.
Well, that's impressive. Yeah. I was kind of intrigued by this one, but the whole Soulsborne thing put me off, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I that was one of the things that initially made me go, oh, I don't know. But what I would say, it's got that whole, like, you've got a life energy and a stamina energy and stuff like that. If you just keep going with your sword and everything, then yes, you're going to use up all your stamina. But I found the combat not easier than Soulsborne, but more fun than Soulsborne to actually do. You feel a bit more faster paced with stuff, and you get some more tools that actually help. Like, you have a drone. Like, it feels like it should be like an ancient fantasy game, but it's not. It's like modern day-ish. And you have a drone thing that you can send off to distract multiple enemies while you concentrate on one. But I actually like the combat in this, whereas I don't particularly always like the Souls combat. I think it's too slow and methodical at times. This, though, feels, I'm not going to say Ninja Gaiden-esque combat or anything like that, but it's definitely towards Souls, but not right at the Souls. It's Souls with some like Gaiden-esque flourish to it, and it works. But whether it's for everyone, again, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, hopefully it does well. It looks comparative. Now this sounds a bit cruel, but it looks quite expensive for what it is. I don't know if that's a factor.
So I don't know. That again, it really depends on what you like. It's not one to pick up on a whim. I will give you that. But the fact that I'm already like 5 hours into it, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of what this game is yet to offer. I think there's definitely value there. If you're someone who goes, oh, time in game equates to money I want to pay, then yeah, I think you're easily going to be paying, say, I reckon less than £1 an hour to play. If that's something you want to equate to value. Whether, again, it depends. Are you a Souls fan? That might have a bearing on it. So I don't know. Yes, for some, I think you're right. I think it's going to be expensive. For others, I think it'll be a bargain. So it really depends on you as a person.
Yeah, no, fair play. Yeah. Hi, Future Stew here. Unfortunately, we lost some audio due to a technical issue, which was covering one review. So that will be added to next week's podcast. Naturally, we also lost Brad's side of the audio for my review, so that's where the gaps are. Hope you can keep up, and it's understandable. We'll just dive straight into my review, so here we go. I've been playing a slightly strange one. It's called ZOE Begone, which I don't really know where the title comes from. I mean, it could be a pun on Woe Begone if you pronounce Zoe as Zoe. So I don't know. Anyway, no, so it's got nothing to do with Zoe Wanamaker. The title doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything because it's a shooter, very much in the style of Defender or Fantasy Zone, in that it's got like a wraparound screen. And that really good one on the Vita. What was that called? Oh, that's it. Yeah, Resogun. Yeah. So it's very much in that sort of style. And there's a couple of differences. There's the thing where you're a little... Okay, well, I'll describe the graphics because it's a very big part of this. So they're kind of hand-drawn animations, which, okay, that's video games, but it's hand-drawn 2D animation from like a European studio kind of thing. And we seem to be saying that every week now, but it's kind of, it's good in that it's abstract. And the theme is that you're stuck on a reel of tape and you've got to defeat the animator. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to. It's a game. And to that end, it has these very childlike, very high contrast, very colourful, cartoon cutout kind of style graphics. Incredibly simplistic, but quite pleasant. And your character's like a little triangle guy with legs. And you can fly around shooting stuff, and you can also land on the ground. And if you land, you can then fire in 5 directions. You can front and back, and you can do up and diagonals. And you can only shoot left to right if you're in the air. So it's like to give you a bit more freedom and flexibility. There are games like that. I can't remember what they are now, but there are some that play like that. A very 8-bit kind of style. They kind of disappeared from popularity in the 16-bit era, really. Anyway, so you fly around, you've got to shoot stuff. It's a little bit kind of, as I say, Fantasy Zone in that you collect money, which you can then spend on weapon upgrades. And you can lose those pretty quickly, to be honest. You only have to be hit a couple of times and they're gone. And what its unique thing is, though, really, is that you're constantly losing, like, energy to fly. You're constantly losing health, and you're constantly losing weapon power. And you have to, like, top these up. And you top them up in-game, and they're available pretty much all the time in the game. They might sometimes be limited. They're different coloured circles, squares, triangles at the bottom of the screen. And they kind of act like, time signatures when you're editing film. That's how they're presented. And you hit those to regain what you need. And of course, you're juggling that with avoiding bullets and avoiding enemies. It's very crazy. There's a lot going on. And it's pretty solid, It's okay. It's quite fun. It goes for over-the-top, sort of frenzied, ballistic nuttiness where it's bullet hell, it's all going crazy at once, and it obviously succeeds in that. The only problem is that its gimmick, which is its visuals, work against it in that it's very hard to read. Now, it might not be for other people, but for me, I just found it in the moment very tough because obviously, like classically in shooters, you have a colour palette that excludes a colour or two, and then you only use that colour for the bullets, and therefore you can instantly read them when you're playing the game. And often it's kind of bright pink or like a neon green or something like that, and it doesn't do that. I mean, it does have shots that are coloured like that, but it also have shots that are coloured exactly the same as the enemies or exactly the same as the background. And I understand why they've done it. It's a stylistic choice, but it does make it very difficult to sort of parse at times when you're going full on, which is a shame because it's a very pretty game, but that's a little bit of style over substance, really, where they've gone for that. I haven't dug into the accessibility options to see if there are any, but I would strongly recommend to the developer that they put it in that all enemy fire is coded into a certain claw that's very obvious. Apart from that, it's good. It's very, very hard. It's not grindy, but you will find yourself, starting over and over again. I started it off on easy because I always do that with these kind of games that look particularly tough and designed to be tough. And I was just getting killed left, right, and centre. So it was a real challenge. But the mechanics are tight. The shooting is pretty good fun. Another bit of a criticism is that I find some of the standard enemies are a bit tough. Like they take too many shots to take down. So you always feel a little bit weedy and underpowered. And because the power-ups are quite few and far between because they're expensive and because you lose them quite often, that kind of puts a bit of a dampener on it. You don't have this much of a ramping up of power in the enemies, which you get in most shooters. So it's good, but I'd say with a couple of caveats. It could do with a couple of visual tweaks, and I think it could do with a little bit of a rebalance. But apart from that, it's very solid mechanically, and it's got a really cheery and kind of unusual aesthetic, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, I think with these games, it often is. Can you do something that is a little bit different? Maybe not in the mechanics, because people want similar mechanics in these sort of games because it's the nature of what they are. But can you do something that gives it a visual flourish that separates it? For example, I couldn't tell you the difference between any of the 1940 whatever they are shooters because they're all the same. And you could throw up like Defender and a bunch of other space shooters from like horizontal shooters from the time, and I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. So with something that you can see, look at it visually and go, "Oh, that's that game." I do think that's always good, and it can give you something that you know what, it's not quite this, but I'm enjoying just being around it. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
No. So next up from me, I'm going to stick it to you, Stu. I'm going to stick it to you.
What again?
I don't even know where I'm going with this one. I've been playing a game called Stick It to the Stickman. Which is, do you remember from, I want to say, the early 2000s, that animation that went around quite virally, which was like the stick characters having a fight?
Yeah.
It was like a white background and they was hand-drawn stick characters, and it was all done in Flash, and everyone tried to recreate it if you was learning Flash.
Yeah.
But yeah, but basically, someone's seen that recently and gone, "That's cool. I'm going to make a game out of that," and they have. Except it's not hand-drawn stick characters. Like what they've done is they've given them a bit of colour and a bit of filling out, a bit more 3D looking. In a game that looks, by all intents and purposes, that it should be a meme game that you play for 2 minutes and go, yeah, fine, this should have been free on the internet. That's how it looks. Or something that was maybe on an auto fighter where you purchase microtransactions on a mobile. That's what it looks like. But what you've actually got here is a very competent 2D action brawler that's quite deep in what it does. Both in mechanics and ideas. So it's set in like this corporate world where everyone's a stick man, and there's a head stick man who's right at the top of the business. And for whatever reason, you're Mr. Nobody, and you go down. It goes, right, you've now got to fight your way. You want this job, you can have this job, and you've got to fight people for your job. And literally, you go and you have fights in a warehouse, and then through the office block up to the top, where you get to the boss of the company. You're all blue or various different colours, but the boss is like his own colour, so he really stands out. You get to the top, you beat the boss, and then guess what? You're the boss. And then you go back as another unnamed worker, but you've unlocked new abilities and new different fight combinations that you can pick up throughout levels. You go back, you start from the bottom, and you fight your way to the top again, defeating the boss that was you previously. Only this time, it's a bit harder. The boss is a bit more harder to beat, and you need to find more skills to beat the boss. If you beat the boss, guess what? You become the boss. And so on, and rinse and repeat, and you can get various different upgrades and flourishes for your character and stuff like that. There's like so many different moves. It's not just like you've got this one move set. There's like so many different combinations you could do, and it's really fluid feeling. That you feel like you're actually weirdly enough, in a John Wick movie, in terms of the quality of the fighting within this thing. And I'm playing it, and I was thinking, do you know what? It's going to be one I played 5 minutes ago. It's all right. But I'm playing it, and I've kind of become low-key obsessed with it. And it's put it this way. We talk about a cup of coffee games. This is like, I think, a £5, less than a £5. Again, and it's more in depth and more fun to play than some games that are 4 or 5 times the price. And it is a meme game. It really is one of these guys. They've done this for a meme, thing, but it's so competently done that it shows you can do a piss take game, but make it work by actually having good mechanics. And yeah, developers have absolutely nailed this one. It's by 3 Lives. I don't know what they've done before, but it's published by Devolver Digital. So this is the team. So I'm having a look. They have got a decent library. So they done Broforce, Angerfoot. They did as well. So they know their stuff to a degree. But yeah, it's just really fun, and it's cheap, and it's just one of those that it's just get it, stick it on your Steam Deck. It's there just to pick up and play when you want, and it's just really, really fun.
Yeah, looks excellent. Yeah, it just looks like a satire on corporate culture as well, and that on top of being a good, silly John Wick 'em up for that kind of money. I think that's
I do love the irony of it being one that's like, it's a fight against capitalism and corporate culture, like the internal story of it. And instead of going, but we're still like 15, 20 quid, they've gone £5.
Crazy.
Have it. I know. It's just really good. I did not expect it to be this good. So I love it when something comes out of the blue like that. Highly, 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 highly recommended. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think I might have to get that, to be honest. It looks great.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. If of all the games that I've played this week, and there's some excellent games, this is one I say, don't think about it, just get it.
Okay, I'm not going to think. I'm just going to get it.
Don't think. And finally, so this is where I go to the proper bit now. Our featured game this week is Arctic Awakening, which is... have you ever played Firewatch, Stu?
I have, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yes. So it's a little bit Firewatch, this game. So it's like a mystery walk 'em up. Shall we? I don't like walking simulator. Let's go walk 'em up. It's a mystery walk 'em up where you have an accident and you want to play. You crash land in the Arctic and you're like, oh God, what's gone on? Who am I? And you're like, oh, I don't know. But like you're like, oh, I'm a bit confused. The person I was with has disappeared and I've got to find them. But there's this annoying robot thing that's with you. You're like, oh God, not an annoying robot. I don't like annoying robots. But this annoying robot is actually quite charming, which helps. It's designed to be annoying, but in a charming way. So, do you know sometimes people try and write a character that everyone's meant to love, like a Jar Jar Binks. Take away the actual real fan theory where he was actually like the leader of the Sith or whatever it was. But he was originally written to be someone the kids love, and no one liked Jar Jar Binks because they tried to write him funny and charming and he just wasn't.
Yeah.
What they've gone for here is this opposite approach where this robot you're with is designed to be annoying. But because they've designed it with that annoying factor, he's charming. It's charming, and it works. And he talks just about enough within the game that it's helpful at times and stuff like that. But anyway, you spend a lot of your time wandering around this mysterious place you've never been, looking for your co-pilot. And basically, mysteries unravel as you travel, and you hear...
Oh, there's a pull quote for you.
Yes. And then, as you're wandering around, you see things that happen. Certain colours come up in like the darkness and the wilderness. And you're like, what is that? And then you move further, and there's other things that start to appear. And like the why what happened starts to become that little bit clearer. And then like you get in contact with different types of people and things like that. And it feels both isolated and hopeful in places, but can also feel, it does this thing where it can flip the script and make you feel like there's no hope. It's really, really well written in that respect. It looks absolutely beautiful as well. And I think some of the puzzle elements that are there are done really well. They're not immediately, oh, this is a puzzle. But you can tell you're being led down this element that needs discovery. And I say the environment is just stunning, and where you can have some bits that you're like, oh, do I want to go there? Is it something bad going to happen, or is it not? It's so beautiful. You kind of go, no, I'm going to go and look because something is over there that I want to stay. And as the story unfolds, you start to grow internal relationships with these characters, and you are invested in them in a way. You want to find out what happens. Do you have to like them all? No, that's not what it's trying to do. It's not trying to get you emotionally like, oh my god, I want all these characters to be happy at the end. It's nothing like that. Characters all have their fault, and it's done in a way, and I think I've spoke about this before as well, where it's episodic, but all within that one contained game. So it's got like these chapters that you play that say 90 minutes to 3 hours long each. It really depends how you progress it. But they're like a couple of hours each on average. And they kind of take you to a chapter moment, a cliffhanger, and then you go again on your next chapter. So you get some really nice points where you can go, right, I've played it for today. I'm going to hold off and then play the next chapter next week. So you can really do it like it's an episodic TV program if you wish, or you can burn through the whole thing. I think it's about 12 hours-ish in total to play through across like, I want to say 5 chapters, I think it was. But the story's interesting, it's paced really well. And the puzzle elements, I say, overall enjoyed. Some could be a bit simplistic. You're like, did you really need this? Or are you doing it just to give us something to do? But I think overall it does all the bits, the basics it needs to do really, really well. And yeah, highly recommended if you liked Firewatch or you like these like slow burn mysteries, then definitely up there. And one thing I should clarify, when I interned briefly to find out what the PR world was all about, I worked very, very briefly on this game, not on the game itself, but I was helping with a couple of bits to do with one of its launch trailers. So as a caveat to all this, I did work on a bit of a trailer for this. That's my only involvement, and this review, this coverage, we don't give scores, so it's not paid for reviews or anything. It's purely my own opinion on the game. So yeah, it goes from that, but just as clarity, because I dare say if we ever got big enough, someone would go, well, we saw this, and look, we found out that Brad worked on it briefly, even though it doesn't appear anywhere on credits or anything. But yeah, just want to clarify that.
Yeah, fair enough. That was years ago, wasn't it, when you worked for them? That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was just before I went blind.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was while I was blind.
While you were blind, yeah.
But my vision started coming back, and I tried to think, can I get back into work? And it's what I tried, and yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work out because of my health issues. But yeah, it's one of the games I did briefly touch, but I had no involvement in the actual development of the game.
Oh yeah, no. Anyway, it sounds really good. It sounds, Firewatch is a good pedigree to have. Really loved that game, and it feels like a long time ago now.
It does.
Yeah, I think it is.
It really does.
Yeah, I think it is a good long time
I don't
ago.
want to look, because when I found out, like, Burnout Paradise is 20 years old. 25 years. No, 15 years old, sorry. Ridiculous.
I know, it's crazy.
Anyway, like and subscribe. I forgot this might be going on YouTube, this one, so like and subscribe. Hey. And press that bell, whatever they say, I don't know. Smash that bell button.
Right, we done with that then.
Yeah, yeah.
Slick.
But yeah, no, that's a whole lot of fun with those games, prizes to be won. But I don't know. My brain hurt.
We'll let you off. Have you got any more that you have to cover?
Oh, I've got loads, but I've not played them yet, so they will be coming, including, just to give a bit of a heads up, Stu, of what's to come in the coming weeks. A Patapon follow-up, but not Patapon, a spiritual successor. A dark gambling horror title that was delayed because of Silksong. A quirky game, Henry Halfhead's got to come up. A sequel to Strange Horticulture, which was a game I really like. Puzzle Quest re-release or remaster, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, plenty to look forward to, and I believe you've got some really good ones. You've got Hotel Barcelona coming up.
I've got that.
There you have
Absalom as well.
Absalom, yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, so some interesting stuff coming up. Plenty of games, because this has been the most ridiculous couple of months of games that I've had to play catch up on. And Baby Steps as well. I've got, but I think that's still embargoed at the moment. But yeah, I've been playing Baby Steps, and I have thoughts. So stay tuned for that.
I will. Well, I'll have to, because I'm part of this show. But yeah.
Contractually obliged.
That's right. Yeah, I did that whole signing in blood thing you made me do all those years ago.
Yeah, with the devil.
Yeah, he keeps knocking on the door every now and again.
Stu sold his mind.
I know. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, Stu done the deal with the devil when I had a word with the devil. Wait, can I have that? And he went, yeah. Hey,
it's not worth
whatever.
much.
You know, me and you, we're bros. And I went, no, I said, we're not bros, Satan. I'm non-binary. He went, I don't care. I'm chill. Not like God. God's a wanker. I went, oh no. So yeah, that's how that went.
Cool. God's a wanker.
I think that's a good time to stop, innit?
God's a wanker title of the podcast this week.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe not.
I think God's an anchor. There we go.
Perfect. What a perfect turnaround.
Finish, Stu, please, because I'm gone. I'm done. My brain's melted.
Righto. Yeah, I'll take us out. So, as usual, follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out our content on the website. Join us on Patreon if you wish to chat. And until next week, stay safe and stay sane.